When did you realize that your child wasn't who you thought they were? When he disappeared. I knew that adopting an older child meant that their personality, preferences, and, essentially, self would already be fundamentally formed. I was warned that I could likely change very little of the child's personality if I adopted anyone over 7 years old. The boy I finally decided to make my son was 12 at the time of adoption, and had been fostered out at least a dozen times, returned because he was unmanageable and aloof. I was determined to prove them wrong. And I did. He was incredibly reticent, but he was also very sweet and compassionate. I figured out that his silence was a combination of traumatic mutism and shyness. Therapy for the trauma, and drawing out for the shyness. I sent him to school with children his age when I felt he was confident enough to cope. I talked to him constantly, which he seemed to like. When he was 16 he disappeared suddenly. A note saying, "I'm with friends. I'm safe. I'll be back," was all I got. All of a sudden his sweetness turned bitter. He did come back, and it was as if he was a different person entirely. I was dumbstruck. Who was this tall young man who rolled his shoulders back instead of slumping them forward? Who raked his hair back, making his eyes glow bright, instead of letting